How's everybody doing? Today's video, I'm going to explain how I actually bought a guitar that's even dumber than the last guitar that I bought, which was this Kramer Baretta Special. And by that, I don't mean that it's a bad guitar, I just mean that it's a little bit insane. It's another Kramer Baretta Special, but it's purple. So this one I bought used at the same time as the white one that I ordered, but it came in a little bit later, so I'm just now getting to talking about it. Same deal as the first one, mahogany body, maple neck, maple fretboard, satin finish on the neck, although the finish is different on this guitar compared to the other one. And the fretwork is quite different, and the neck profile is different, slightly. And this knob is different because somebody obviously replaced this because it was used. Other than that, this seems to be stock besides that knob. The bridge was already slammed very tight with the tremolo, so I didn't need to do that on this one. And I bought this used for like 180 bucks. And when I received it, the neck was essentially backbowed. So it seemed like whoever had it before did play it, because you can tell by the fretboard that they played it. But the neck went out of adjustment, and from about fret 7 to 0, it was bent back, so everything was just choked out. You could only really play it way up high. And I suspect that whoever had this guitar, although they knew enough to change the knob, they might have not, either had the confidence or the knowledge to do the neck adjustment, so they gave up on it and traded it in at that point. Which is when I found it at Guitar Center used, and it's in overall great shape, just aside from having some actual play wear. It seems like somebody really liked this thing, and the color is very interesting. This color got my attention first, and I will say this about the colors, and I don't know if this is just a color thing or if this is a color or production date thing. But whereas the white one that I got brand new is made in China, this used one that I got is made in Indonesia, which according to people online is where the solid color ones are made, but obviously not if you were to buy a white one at this exact time. So I don't know if they actually maintain two different factories and it depends on the color, or if it just depends on the time. But you can tell that these guitars came from two different factories. As far as the finish of the neck, the purple ones actually got a bit of more of a tint to the finish of the neck. I don't know if you can really tell that on camera. Although it is, used, it's still naturally a little bit more amber, whereas the white one is completely clear. The white one's neck is thicker and the finish is a little bit rougher, whereas the purple one, the Indonesian one, the neck is a little bit thinner. Could also be described as a slim taper, like Epiphone style neck, but the frets are a little bit nicer. There's really no rough edges at all, so it seems like they spent a little bit more time at the Indonesian factory on the frets. They feel a little bit lower. Just this one, once the neck was adjusted, feels much better to play, except that the neck is thinner. But the action is now lower on this than the white one was brand new. And those are the differences, really. It seems like they gave specs to both places, and you can just tell the difference in how the factories handled those specs. So these guitars were obviously aimed to be built to the same exact specs, but they just can't possibly be because they're made by two different manufacturers. The purple one serial number is 2207-2904-702, and the white one is 2411-130-4315, if that makes any difference on the production. Otherwise, same exact scarf joint, same specs. They were given the same specs on paper, clearly. But this one feels smoother. Even though it's still a satin finish neck and fretboard, it still feels smoother. The fret edges are smoother. They're lower. I would maybe presume that the hardware and the electronics are the same, but I don't know for sure. But just as the way that the guitar is built, this one's built a little bit built with a little bit more care as far as the neck feel and everything like that. But the neck's a little bit thinner. So despite this one being made in Indonesia versus China, if I were to sell one of these two, it'd probably be this one, just because I prefer a bigger neck. I mean, it's definitely playable. It's not something I'll complain about, but it's closer to a Strat neck than the other one. Although it's still kind of a D-shaped neck. Just when I say closer to a Strat neck, I mean overall girth. And it still has a 12-inch radius fretboard, which is closer to a Les Paul, so you can really shred this thing. It's pretty smooth. So, you know, still a monster of a guitar for cheap. I mean, mahogany body, maple neck, a hot Alnico 5. Still has the same silkscreen logo on it with the gold, and it still has the same truss cover as the other one with the sort of Explorer style headstock. But this guitar is just really fascinating. I would probably, you know, I don't know if I'm going to keep this honestly or not. Just not. Oh, the other thing is the fretboard edges are actually rolled. So the edges of this fretboard are significantly rolled noticeably, whereas the other one is maybe barely, whereas they definitely spent way more time on this fretboard and frets overall. Yeah, I don't know. If I didn't keep this, it would be purely for addressing other financial goals. It would be nothing to do with a fault of this guitar. I'm obviously more likely to play a white guitar than one that's purple. I don't know how it's going to look on my camera, but it is basically medium purple. I don't know how else to really describe it. I think it's cool. It's very retro, sort of throwback to the 80s look, which is why I liked the purple to begin with. And with the one pickup, flat top sort of body like that, it just gives it a very clean look. And this one really has no dents or dings from the original owner, so that's good. It means somebody took good care of it, and they played it, and they were careful with it. And then they just, I guess the neck went out of adjustment, and they said, can't keep it, you know, just got to trade this thing in for something else. Or it sat at Guitar Center for so long that the neck went out of adjustment, but I doubt that. I think they probably liked it, couldn't deal with the truss position, and then traded it. And then I found this thing for like $180, and here it is. I'm going to have to play both of these guitars through my actual rig at home through my triple rectifier, see if there's any sonic differences, and I guess I will circle back and let you guys know. Or I'll just include that footage here right after this. So there you have it. Those are the differences between the white Baretta Special and the purple Baretta Special by Kramer. This one is made in Indonesia. It was used. This one's made in China. It was new. This one has a smaller neck, more of an amber finish on the neck, and more of a soft satin feel, whereas this one is a little bit less refined overall fretwork, neck feel, fretboard edges, and the finish on it. It's kind of interesting that they're made in two different places. I don't know if they're all uniform now, but it's going to be hard to tell online where a particular guitar was made, I guess, if you're looking, for a country of origin. But despite this one being made in China, the neck is chunkier, so I kind of lean towards that one. It's also my color. This one is a cool color. I think this guitar is really, really cool. Looks great. The neck's a little thinner, so it's probably not my favorite out of the two. But there you go. If you like this video, don't forget to share it and subscribe. If you have any more insight on where these Kramer Baretta Specials are being made, whether it's dependent on the finish or the date or the serial number or whatever, let me know, and I'm sure everybody else would like to know in the comments. And subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll see you guys next time.